I'm anti holy cow unless it's for an hour at a time.
What? Really?
And it's like a novelty. Yeah, like actually piloting a holy cow. They can be priests too in Cat. It's nonsense.
Dude, like I was a Tauren paladin in Kata. It was great for like
I love
5
Tauren.
minutes, and then I remembered how bad the leveling was in Kata, and immediately quit.
I look like a Tauren IRL.
Awkward. Where
Bugs.
you at?
I'm just like my game crashed or some shit. Just re-logging on.
Yeah, mages, you guys can just do the same focus magic as last week. Yeah, make sure you guys have all updated your add-ons. Obviously, there were quite a few.
They're still broke.
Yeah, a lot of them are still broke, but make sure you've updated your DBM or whatever else you need. If you haven't done it, just take a moment, grab that. Can we get a new portal down? So this week, just to make sure that we get through patch without having a death from a hateful, we're just going to do 4 healers, 3 tanks, just to make it like extra easy, extra safe. So as usual, 100% going for immortal, play it safe, prioritize your own life, don't be crazy. We're starting here with military, just to make sure that we get through the Resuvius clean, and then we'll start moving through it. So we should be decent on it. We have 1 less melee than we did last week, so KT will be a little bit easier. But just make sure we get those MCs out, or CCs on the MCs for KT, and we should be good. After raid today, try not to run away too quick. I'd like to go over just at least the brief outline of our plans for Ulduar. We will push those out either tonight or tomorrow. We'll have them done, and then everybody can take a look at those. There's also the some videos from Jordi that I've linked in the Ulduar channel. Please take a look at those if you haven't, or at least look at some kind of resource so you have an idea of what's going to be going on when we go in there. There's quite a few mechanics. There's a lot more personal responsibility, and we want to hopefully get through it. Based on the responses we got from the survey, it looks like we will definitely get in there at least 30 minutes early, but try to be on anywhere between an hour and 30 minutes early, because as soon as all 25 of us are there, we're going to go. There are the 10-man signups as well. I'll put a roster out for who we can get in for a group for 10-man, and we'll get that going for those that are interested in going right at launch. Get some 10-man gear and go into 25. The other thing was for the second day, Friday and Monday, both only got 21 votes, so there's still a few people missing there. If any of you had responded there and couldn't make Friday or Monday and you think you can, just let me know. We'll see if we can make that work. But as is, it looks like for the most part, we might only have our 1 day, our 3.5 hours. If we don't clear, we'll definitely get back in there, likely Monday, and then we'll go through there. But again, if you guys can make Friday or Monday, and you said you couldn't in the survey, just let me know, and we'll see what we can arrange so I can get something up so everybody knows what's going on. But that's pretty much it. Ulduar on Thursday, absolute hype. Yeah, Friday would be good too. That's what I'm saying. Like Friday and Monday were the 2 days that got the most responses by far. So if you said you couldn't make it in the survey, but you think you can for any reason, let me know. An extra day will definitely help us out. If we do only have the 1 day, our strategy for week 1 will most likely be kind of just doing minimal hard modes week 1, more going to ensure the clear, see the content, and then based on that, we'll be able to go back in the second week and do, spend a lot more time on it with our 2 full days, or Thursday and Tuesday. Again, going forward though, Tuesday, Thursday are our main raid days. I know Thursday has just been alt stuff for pretty much ever, and just 10-mans and just random stuff like that. But just make sure you guys are on for that. It is mandatory. It is counted for attendance. Up until now, everybody's just been getting attendance for Thursday if you were there on Tuesday. But going forward, that is 2 separate days, 2 separate attendance counts, and 2 separate raids. Make sure you're there. We're definitely going to be using it, as especially in week 2, we're going to want to see as many hard modes as we can, and we're going to want to actually spend some time and learn the encounters, learn some of the more challenging encounters. Anyway, that's kind of my spiel. If we're all ready to go, we can start moving. Let's do a ready check before we move, and then if we're good to go, we can get going. Did we get a feast?
Yeah, need another.
Before we get started, I just apologize for my tanking tonight. I am dual boxing Este, so just bear with me.
Kick W.
It has nothing to do with actual personal performance whatsoever.
Nice.
All right. Make sure you pop a flask. Let's start moving.
Oh shit.
Forgot a flask?
Oh, hold on. No, it's not. It's not that it. Ah, fuck.
It's all right. We got super. We can keep moving with super.
We can't.
Can you remove my assist? See if that fixes it. Has to do with the ready check. It's giving
like
me an lure error.
Is that better?
We'll find out.
Stopping until you get it fixed. Never mind.
Just keep going.
I'll know a next ready check, I guess.
Anyone else getting an insane amount of lag?
Shut the fuck up. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
God damn. Crispy does not like talking about lag.
It's so bad right now. I don't know why. I've never had any.
Are you playing inside of a pot?
Is it those markers?
I mean, he said the other day he was going to do a marijuana, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And today he was gonna huff some, what are they, highlighters? Yeah.
Golvar, could you just do a ready check? I want to see what happens. It's a similar error as I was getting on the PTR. It's a pain in the ass.
Tricks Betty triggered. Make sure you guys pop flasks. Let's keep
Don't
moving on
pop
the
the one
trash.
and make it to the bus.
Okay.
That was fun.
Is it good now, Parm?
Yeah, it's just something with the ready check. It fucks with me when I have assist.
I'll just leave you without assist then. Which add-on's doing it?
It's shattered unit frames.
Oh, weird. Did you update that? Isn't that a
Yeah.
fork of LVI's unit frames?
A what? I've never used LVI.
Fork of LVI's unit frames.
No, this is an add-on I've been using since like Wrath retail days. It's a new version that is not liking this patch.
Sure, he purged those Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's still doing it. I need to fix this.
And uphold those Death Knights.
No, just leave them.
Okay.
All right, so Gracious, Die, you two are doing your usual. Make sure we don't go too ham. Make sure we let them get that taunt off before we absolutely open up on them.
Just to confirm, I can DPS this, correct?
Yes.
All right. Please expose.
Will do.
Thank you.
Turning F now. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. There.
Okay. Parm, you good?
Yeah.
There's a pull timer.
Might want to wait.
Yeah, we'll have to wait now. Yeah, he's in a bad spot now. Just wait. I was hoping
he
he'd
did the
stop
thing
at the guy
again.
in the back, not the guy in the front. We got trolled.
You know, one time you walk like halfway.
Nice.
through and-
I'm gonna turn off my add-ons real quick. I'm getting way too much lag, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's gonna do another circle.
Really hoping this works.
Me fucking too, pal.
Ruthless. I love it.
That's feeling like the PTR. Makes me glad though that the actual raid didn't come out the same day as the patch though.
Yeah.
I've got very few. I updated LVUI, I updated all my add-ons, and I haven't gotten a single Lua error yet.
Well, it's the same as was on the PTR. It's just same shit.
I
That's for
updated
me.
both of my add-ons too.
Both of them. All
Both.
two. I love it.
Wait, you
Gracious,
need
let us know
add-ons?
once you're
Oh,
back in.
wow.
Yeah, I will. They kicked me out, so.
We've actually been needing to talk to you about that.
I turned off my raid frames using Blizzard default, and now everything appears to be working.
Hey, I don't think I have lag. Okay, I think I'm good. I don't have.
Probably turn on your bartender. Or whatever.
Gracious,
Yeah.
make sure you cancel your Shadow Prot and your Gift of the Wild. Yeah, Gracious, you still have DBM enabled? You can see the timers?
Yes, shit.
Okay, go check.
Nice catch.
Make sure you have it.
I apologize.
Well, as long as one person has it, they can call out the timers.
It's better if you can see them for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely a kind of a takeaway point, though. Make sure you've kind of checked out your stuff before raid.
Yes, I need a test raid before the raid.
I just logged on to do gun drag just to see if anything was fucky, and I'm glad I did because LVUI was really bad.
Okay, we're good.
One last raid check. Make sure nobody stepped away.
AFK bathroom.
There's the
I'm
pump
taunting.
hammer. Let's keep it focused. Lust. Bloodlust.
Tell me when.
Should taunt now.
I have time.
Mind control. I'm gonna taunt. No.
Good.
Try to hold him still.
Boneberry's almost done.
I've taunted.
Green team.
One minute cooldowns.
Haunting.
Well done, guys.
Freaking crit for 18,000 is my
Yeah.
jump.
We got it down on
This guy's hitting me in the back.
Yeah, just bring him forward. Don't stand
I'm
back.
gassing.
They're not tauntable, so you kind of just got to keep moving them forward. Move to the next pack, geez. Savage, just curious, do you have a week or anything to track raid mana?
No, I actually stopped using that. I forget what it's called.
Sure.
You need me to pick one up?
All right, just put it in chat there. You should be able to grab it from me. You can basically just anytime that you see that the healers are over basically like 30%, you just keep
start
pulling for
pulling.
the tanks. Yeah.
Sure.
Less of a thing in Ulduar, but very much still a thing in Naxx.
Over which percentage? Are you
What about like
comfortable?
anything over 30? You're fine.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty much all day.
Okay.
Yeah, for Naxx, it's nearly all day. There's rarely times they'll be that low.
So there were 5 pieces of loot from each boss. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we got 5. Oh my god, no. This is terrible.
Enjoy the DE.
I'm just like imagining the loot lists, the loot distributions.
Yeah, in Ulduar, like at least definitely for the first couple weeks, if you're out for it, I'm just literally throwing it at you. If you don't want it, you just let me know later. I need to make it quick and get stuff out of my bags. There's going to be far too much loot. If we just throw a couple totems on the dead side and everybody just stay alive. Stay on live side.
And also stay alive.
Yes, and also stay alive, but stay on the live side. Make sure our shamans are back over to us before we start it. Okay.
You're clear to pull.
Me?
Well, anyone really.
Just going to throw out some loot while we wait. Actually, those Spalders are BOE.
Oh, like mouse.
If you want any of those, just link them back to me and roll for it. Just remember as we go through, prioritize life. It's far more important to survive. Don't do anything crazy. Doors open. Get that raid sack.
That worked lovely.
Okay, next phase coming up. Bloodlust. Bloodlust now. Hurt. Gotta do it early.
You do not need to expose.
Turn pets off aggressive if you use them.
Bracers of unrelenting attack. Valorant, you still want them?
Pack.
Sorry.
Buxty, you still after abatement bracers?
Oh yeah. I haven't seen those drop once.
Well, now they did.
Crazy.
So I'll take that as a yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my DBM is making noises, but it's not actually popping up. It's interesting.
Oh, weird. Mine's definitely working. Like I just updated mine from Curse. Seems fine.
I did too. I don't know, I'll have to
Mine's
double
not
check.
making noises, but it's showing me timers, so that's cool.
Should we purge those Cavaliers, please? That bone barrier on them is like 90% damage reduction. Sure you recall totems. Doing the same usual 3, 2, 1. Kill skull, kill X, kill square. Super, you're off on your own.
I'm reloading. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. You got a second. Mr. You can DPS here if you want. It's up to you. Next boss after this will be patched though, and we'll definitely want you to heal that one. So it's up to you. Doesn't really matter. For melee going in on Moon, One Piece, Valorant, Oofster, Hyro, and Elite, you guys can go in. Everybody else stay out. And when you're moving over, make sure you guys don't all move over in a clump. 10-yard spread. Pull timers up. Again, we're killing Skull, then X, then Square. Zug your brains out on them. Last. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
my.
Dragon's Breath and died right away.
How do we lose 3 people there?
GTFO is not working for him.
Can we just reset or just kidding?
Nope. You just got to keep going.
It was melee swings.
Yeah, make sure you stay spread when you move over. Don't stack up. Yeah, it was standing in consumption, and then meteor melees from Thane Korthaz, standing in consumption. Oh, got beamed anyway. Let's res the dead and we'll get moving.
So does this mean we can 2-tank patch?
Yeah, we'll just 2-tank patch. We'll probably still 4 heal it, but we'll 2-tank patch.
I'm bale weaving as well. YOLO.
We get a new feast.
You always got to make sure we're always watching threat, always watching your feet. It's the same mechanics we're dealing with every week.
Yeah, when the new ads come in on that Sideway 3 stack, they don't have great threat when they're running in. I have to snatch them and build on them. Takes a few seconds.
Yeah, make sure you just, like, it looks like you switched over just a little early there, Veggie. Just make sure you're just punching skull till it dies, pretty much.
Yeah, with the focus strat, there's not much need to go off, especially when they're just arriving to the party.
All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah, literally just throw flame shock on the ads.
Oh, you gotta do more than that.
If he does more than that, he'll die.
Well, you can lay into him, just not right on the first second.
Ooh, that's a lot of A-bombs. It's gonna hurt.
Got this weekend.
So last week, we got to do it. Got to do it big.
Do it large.
Oh, sorry, is that PC? Okay. Do it Este. Get it.
There's a purple back there.
Oh, I must have missed it.
There's a slime on the ground.
Move forward, recall your totems.
I just want to say, Crispy, I made money getting Immortal.
Bruh.
That was kind of rude.
Walked away with like 6K gold and a nice title.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
dude.
toxic.
All right.
Do Rangers have G kick abilities?
You can type out
You
the
can try it
command.
out.
Make you feel better.
Nah, I can't spell go.
I don't think so.
So since we died, can I tank this?
Yep.
Sweet.
The question is which one of you is better at taking hatefuls. I don't think it really matters. Both of you aren't really the greatest at it.
I take that personally.
Yeah, no, it's nothing personal. It's just the
I'm just kidding.
classes, yeah. DKs and bears have like a % reduction when the hits over a certain percentage of their health, so it's just they end up doing pretty nice at that. Plus, just a larger health pool, but that's fine. Should we just do it like normal then? I guess part main tank, super off tank.
Yes. Except you're gonna need to give me just a sec because I need rage. At like just I need one hateful and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, you'll get it like right away. Just use blood rage as you go and hit him with like one devastate. You'll take the hateful. Like it's instant.
What is blood rage?
Oh my god.
You guys have indestructibles, right? Or whoever's your
Yes.
team.
Are we 2 tanking it or 3 tanking it?
2.
Okay.
Pull timer's up.
You said devastate. What number is that?
Plus. Remember to be spamming super. He's going to be taking all the damage. If you're a melee, I recommend you cancel your fort. Swift, can you get one piece up?
Can Buxy get us innervate?
What was that?
Swift, can you innervate Buxty? She wasn't bad with only one hateful death there. It's close.
I like that. That was a lot of rage.
No, yeah, you just every time he hits you, it's full rage. Hatefuls are like 100 to 115k unmitigated damage, so it's crazy. Oh wow, we got another surplus limb. There you go. Savage, you want your gloves of calculated risk?
Oh, yes.
Spell farm, you after surplus limb?
Yeah.
You pretty much just DPS the rest of the entire instance, Estee.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I love DPS. I'm ST.
Was that convincing?
Was what convincing? ST made himself pretty clear.
I don't think Goldar's on our shit right now.
Who's doing what?
I was
Precisely.
Like holding his breath, clenching a fist.
Nah, he's just playing Brotato in his mind.
Hey man, that's a good game.
I've yet to beat level 0.
You haven't even beat it once?
Pretty bad.
Oh my god.
Well, I played it only like an hour, like 2.5 hours. It's like I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any bosses, so I don't know like how close.
If you do it on the lowest difficulty, there's only one, and it's right at the end.
Yeah. I haven't really figured out how to like balance mitigation and damage yet. Do you like build multiple different types of weapons when you do it, or just one type of weapon?
Depends. I can talk to you about it later.
Hmm.
Is this a roguelike?
I know.
Yeah, it's a roguelike.
It is the best.
You can go ahead and pull. Just bring him down from up top. He's in just an awful spot, but it's not weight. Just make sure you taunt it when it comes down. Looks like the MD didn't work. It's probably too far.
Well, LOS probably.
Or that, yeah.
Please expose on this one.
Okay, please don't drop puddles in the middle. Please stop dropping injections right in the middle of the raid, guys. It's like the second one in a row. Guys gotta watch for that.
Well, it doesn't look like Unholy DPS got nerfed too much. Still on the top.
It's their snapshot. Got fucked.
Yeah, the snapshot got fucked, but it doesn't look like it hit them like crazy. Like, they're not
Goldar,
middle of the pack
No, it's
now.
not the worst.
If you're looting things to me, is it safe to say they're going to be deed?
That one I just couldn't take because it was unique. I couldn't hold two of them.
I've DE'd many of these.
I
Yeah,
want one of those
likely it'll
defender
be
codes.
need. It's a defender's code, but we'll see.
Yeah, I want one of those for mitigation. So if you want to trade it to me, Bomb, I'll take it before you DE it.
I'll hold on to it until he tells me.
Well, here, anybody want a defender's code? We'll just do it right now.
Oh, there you go.
That's for offset. So if anybody else is rolling for offset.
Open trade with me, please. You're hard to find in raid frames with Blizzard UI.
All right, everyone's ready. Pull timers up. Actually, you know what? We're waiting on potion. Just a sec. Just give it a little bit more time. Potion cooldown. Going to the door. Go rocket boots. Lust. Hey, Girdle with a Gambit. Este, you want it? It's still on your list.
I missed hearing that name.
Yeah, Gambit is an underrated X-Men.
I don't even know what that is. Just skip the mobs on the sides.
I liked the reference.
Yeah, what is X-Men?
What?
Like the letter?
No, it's relationships that I've no longer in.
With men. Okay.
I
My X-Men.
All right, how many do we have on the split?
Poor Mincy.
That's the real reason he's not here tonight.
They never see it coming.
All right, that should be pretty much 10 and 10. I think we're good. The left side might be slightly ahead of us though, but we'll see how it goes.
Should I pull 2 or 3 seconds early?
Nah, 0 early.
Look over at that star and what it's doing. Oh my god, you asshole.
Me?
No, Fugan.
Okay.
He kept moving his hitbox.
Yeah, caster side's ahead by 3%. Caster side's ahead by like 6%.
You do not need to expose. On the boss, it is.
Hey, good job evening it out. Kill. Rocket boots over. Negatives are left, positives are right. Negatives are left, positives are right. You can start negative if you're comfortable with it. Just make sure you look at your debuff to decide where you're moving. Polarity shift. Watch your polarity. Take a look at your debuff. The max melee range. Go ahead and lust. Polarity shift. Watch your polarity. Polarity shift. Watch your polarity. 1 minute cooldowns. Polarity shift. Watch polarity. Polarity shift. Two-minute cooldowns.
Hey, Tricks buddy on
Double
top.
Spire of Sunset.
Yeah, for once.
Congrats, man.
Damn, Tricks, buddy. Good job.
For once, I got to be first on the meters.
Let's go do Plague.
I was trying, dude. I was trying.
Oh, trust me, I was sitting there and I was like, no, go, don't beat me, don't beat me.
I only had to move one time. It was sick.
I had to move twice, but the second time I almost messed up and got killed.
Keep pulling as soon as you guys are ready. Yeah, Swift, you can DPS till Lotheb if you want. And if you want to DPS Lotheb, you might be able to convince Estee to heal for you. Yeah, don't worry about the extra pack. You can DE that. Honestly, this boss is technically one healable, so I mean, if Bucks do or die, if either one of you want a DPS, you can as well. It's up to you, though.
I'll heal it.
Okay. New feast, might as well refresh your buff. Lost. All the fights like this, you could just lust on pull. The only one we're not is Lothab for spores.
Melee, he is facing the star. If you're hitting him in the parries. See somebody.
Decurses, guys. Decurses. Decurses still have to happen. So use a cookie if you're low. That was sketchy.
Sweet.
You got to do shitloads of healing. Nice. 5.5k heals on Naxx.
I give him over for
Let's
mana
chill.
booster.
What the fuck?
They're doing good.
Alright, we'll definitely need to go back to 2 healers for Hegan. And then we'll need the third for Lothab. No, Este was kind of saying he might want to heal, so if you guys want him to pick something up, just ask him. I'm sure he'd be willing to swap with one of you guys. Another Silent Crusader. All right. All right, just make sure, shamans, make sure you guys drop cleansing totems. Group 1 and potentially a couple pets should need a manual cleanse, but we'll see if those cleansing totems cleanse the pets. So I know you weren't here when we swapped to this. We stand up on the back left side of the platform near the wall. Just give you a sec for a little bit more mana and then we'll go. Pull timers up. Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse.
Pet, please.
One minute cooldowns. Cleanse. Yep.
Where you at on that one, Trix?
I'm in the middle.
A Grim Toll. It's been a while. Oofster, you want it? Move together. Don't linger in the back. Try not to get in front of the tanks. Just heal people as we move through. Does anybody have a repair bot on them? I don't have one on me. Stop at the bridge. Make sure we kill everything that's behind us. If we can get a repair bot down at this boss, please.
I've got one.
Thank you. All right. First spore will be Tigurius, Triggered, Gracious, Crispy, Spell Farm. Second, Adelaide Go, Veggie, Ooster, Tricks Buddy. Third, we don't have Center G in here. Estee, you said you're healing. Whatever. Buxty, you can just go in that one. So Buxty, you're in third. Savage, Awkward, Magicora, Mincy. Oh, Mincy's not here either.
I'm healing, so we have 3.
Oh, you're healing this one? Oh, okay, never mind then.
But Swift can have it.
Is Swift still in Boomy?
Yeah.
All right. Swift, you can go in the third one there. So in the third one, we will do Swift, Savage, Awkward, Magic Aura, and Velda. Fourth will be myself, Elite, Hyro, Super Trippy, and One Piece. Fifth is everyone else. So Estee, I think you're going in the fifth one then with the other healers.
Sorry, what group did you say I was in?
You're in second. You and Tricks Buddy are in second.
Thank you.
Triggered, you ready? Pull timers up. First spore, left side. Second spore, straight ahead, left. Third on the left. Fourth spore, front right. Left. Fifth spore, straight ahead. First spore, left side. Second spore, left side, front. Third spore, right side. Probably just ignore the sports from now on. Boots of Impetuous Ideals, that's not bad. Spooter Ring. Triggered you after those Boots of Impetuous Ideals.
What?
Let's make sure we res Tigurius. Next up is Adelaide. This is another one that's technically one healable.
Watch your flasks. Probably running out.
Yeah, make sure you check your flasks. If you only have a minute, might as well just use a new one. Pull timbers up. Whew, that was a bad opener. I bungled bad.
I saw Swiftmend up there at the top for a minute.
He's ended with you and Adelaide battling it out. 10K, 9.9K, it was close.
Somebody's higher.
2K, winner by 2K. Yeah, I feel you, One Piece. I totally messed mine up. Got little spiders in the back. Just keep bringing them forward.
Your tanks are behind you, don't pull. Or not, just go for it.
Yeah, we pulled anyway. People already pulled. They are getting slowed and pushed back. This boss is 2 healable. Just make sure we have at least 2 healers and we'll be fine.
We 2-healed that last one because someone didn't switch.
Oh, the last one's 1 healable.
I mean, we won him. Wait, we dueled it. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
one's-
swapped off of Holy.
This one needs to.
Does anyone need the achievement?
Oh, we shouldn't. I mean, we get the achievement every week.
The don't kill the followers one?
No, that's in 10-man you don't kill the followers. In 25-man you don't MC.
Never mind. I don't actually play this this raid. I'm not here. Yes.
Adelaide Buxty, should you check your flasks? Full timer's up. Nice AoE. Just be careful not to stand in bad. Cleansing totems help. Same thing, make sure we have at least 2 healers for this next boss here. And those 2 guys died so fast at the start. That was some AoE damage.
Crispin is
popping.
Yeah, this silence is bad if we don't have the Holy Pally. It's Sag. We still killed him real quick, though.
I mean, if Crispy had a dying curse,
Right? Shut the fuck up, bro.
Oh, my bad.
I have this fucking blue motherfucking trinket this whole fucking time.
Wait, the hit one?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm still rocking Mark of the War Prisoner. I'm dying over here.
You gotta
man.
have something better than Mark of the War Prisoner.
I do, but I don't have the hit.
Oh my god. You didn't need those boots? They weren't on your list.
No, I have those boots. I bought them myself.
Oh my god.
I hate my life.
Skip in the middle?
Yeah.
Nope. Somebody walked too close.
We only have the one raid sack, so choose just make sure you use it for the second web wrap.
The second?
Yes. Actually, we won't even get a second. Just save it for
Yeah.
enrage. And you can use it on the first one, and honestly, it doesn't matter. Because if you have big bubble for the second one, then it doesn't matter when you use the raid sack.
Yeah, I'm gonna use raid sack on the first and my personal on the enrage or the second, whichever comes first.
Okay. Sounds good. Triggered. Make sure you use a flask.
I'll help Savage with the web wraps.
Thank you. Lost. Web wraps.
It's all Savage.
One on melee. Melee can get the close one. You don't have to worry about switching directly to it. Just your cleave will kill it almost instantly. First web spray. Ignore web wraps. Feels bad, man. Dies one of the web wraps. Just make sure you give extra healing to Parm.
She keeps dying faster and faster.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me now. Give it to me now.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Dying
give it,
curse,
give it.
disenchant.
No, give it, give it, give it, give it.
I think I want that for Ospec, actually.
Yeah, Graz
Didn't you hear? Rogues need spell power now.
I'm gonna kill myself. Give it to me.
Buxty, you want Jawbone?
Yeah, actually, that one's way better than Armageddon.
Okay.
That's that
Oh, you're right next to me, Crispy. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
bro,
you
give
really
it to
do want
me.
it. Congrats on the dying curse.
Oh god, Lord.
We keep killing Megson faster and faster. I need to just pop my personal on the first wrap because gonna enrage at her around that.
Yeah, we haven't actually. You haven't been stunned in a web spray for like a month and a half.
Well, that first web spray when he was enraged during it, I just used raid sack and that was it to keep me through it. I didn't die.
Let's make sure we have 3 healers here. We're definitely gonna need it. Let's make sure we get the Frost Razor as well. So who's swapping back to healer for this one? Was it Buxty or Swift?
Oh yeah, no, I swapped.
You swapped? Okay, thank you. Swift, still make sure you help with those decurses, please.
You can go.
Oh,
Boom if
Swift
you
one
want.
heals. Okay.
4 heals.
We won't need 4. I mean,
Okay. Well, right now we have 4.
Whatever. All right, let's move in.
My ball in that aspect.
Yeah, I know.
Air phase, light spread. Okay, get ready to hide. If you're on the close one, just make sure you stop casting. Hit escape, hit escape. Hey, Oofster, how'd you die?
I stood in Blizzard. I'm bad.
Oh, this is like a Papega raid. Oh my god. Two deaths, 4 healers, and no secondary phase. Not bad. Geez, I just gotta send you these 2 things to hold on to real quick. Don't DE them.
Okay.
Heroic Key of the Focusing Iris. That's a tie between Valorant, Veggie, and Die. You guys can all roll for it.
People casting res.
That's Res the Dead. That's Veg.
I'm on my way back.
Don't worry, I got you too. The tank res to save the day.
Sure, get rebuffs on the dead. Looks like we need new wild priest buffs. So feast down, just make sure you get a new feast buff.
I'm ready to go whenever. I'm just playing with something in my settings.
If you're ready, just move up a bit. Just don't touch the center ring. Triggered, you ready? Oh my god, just standing back there. Can you put us on follow or something, Triggered? Let's move up. Thank you. Let's go. Anybody want any of those items? It's a lot more, but if anybody wants any of those. I got Armageddon, Vank Chest, anything else? There are 2 strong-handed rings if anybody else is interested. Try not to blow those up. Oh, we pulled that other cubby too. Please be careful.
Ghoul's running into another cubby.
Boy, we got A bombs. Oh my god, just careful for those little guys. Let's try to make sure we're not making people AoE too hard.
That was your girl that pulled that.
Yeah, it was.
Called out.
That one wasn't me. Was that a chain lightning?
That was a chain lightning.
Let's be careful, guys.
Fucking veggie.
I literally chain lightning the one in front of us. Those were already pulled. Come at me.
What about on you?
I already came at you and killed you once in this fight.
Oh my god.
No, that was definitely on me.
Guys, watch your cleave. Another cubby. This is a bad time to be doing that.
We killed all the cubbies.
Who cares? Not gonna wipe.
Shouldn't. Yep.
Oh, I'm prod. Yeah, you're right. We won't wipe.
Go ahead and lust. Melee move. Big heals melee. Big heals melee. Good job. MCs. CC.
Watch your cleave.
Yeah,
Melee
stop
move.
cleaving. Melee move. Melee move. One minute cooldowns. Melee move. Melee. Melee.
SJ's a traitor. He gave the boss Earth Shield.
Melee. Oh no, One Piece. It's almost a clean KT.
A last laugh.
And a betrayer. Oh,
Last laugh and betrayer. I
And
mean,
a
that's
journey.
not bad.
Hell yeah.
Cheese, where you at? I gotta trade you some of the DE stuff.
Middle resin people.
Oh, and a Junie's End for Savage.
Do you want those?
Yeah, I'll take those to roll them off.
All right, these are the E's you said?
Yes, these are all DEs that I'm trading you right now.
Okay.
I'm just saying the new off tank doesn't have a good melee weapon. You know.
Yeah, what was that about? We lost Velda to a Guardian of Ice Crown. What was that?
Yes, that was me owing Go $5 because I talk shit. So I'm an idiot.
Wow. head over to Borean. Let's go do EOE. Oh, what? Yeah, they switched the order. I just
Oh,
clicked
no.
Storm Peaks.
The order.
Me too.
Wow.
Get wrecked.
They're like, well, everybody's going to Ulduar, I guess.
Well, yeah, it'll be the most used now. So.
Yeah, we just got Giga trolled.
So all the cool people went to Borean.
All the people who can fucking read.
That's me.
Everyone doesn't have ADD.
And today it's actually learnt to read. Thanks.
This is a house of learned doctors.
What?
From Step Brothers.
Step Bros, bro.
Oh, I don't know.
It's one of the greatest
What?
movies.
You haven't seen it?
No, I've seen Step Brothers, of course. I've seen Step Brothers.
What?
You can call me Nighthawk.
What are you doing, Step Bro? Write that one.
Shh, you're waking the neighbors.
I'm stuck in the dryer.
I'm sorry, guys. I've had a lot of coffee today.
Well, I mean, as far as KT loot goes, like we didn't get any of the caster weapons, but at least we got pretty much everything that somebody wanted, except for Calamity's Grasp.
4 weapons drop? No. Yes. 4. Staff.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah. But Calamity's drop grasp is a 100% drop chance, so obviously it dropped.
Oh, hey, Goldor.
Sorry, what happened?
I just wanted to say before you pass out loot, how great you look today, actually.
Oh, wow. Thank you. You know, just for that, you get the first laugh. No, no.
The first laugh? Is that a knockoff?
Yes, exactly.
Rip.
I laugh.
It's like the Chinese knockoff of last laugh. They call it first laugh. It's better.
That repair bill's gonna suck.
Ah, shit.
So, Savage, you want Journey's End?
Yes, please.
Veggie, did you turn in your quest?
I'm doing that this moment.
Okay.
So loot things. That's a good time to do loot things.
Hyro, are you actually going to use last laugh, or are you mostly planning on going Frost? All right.
Just take it, dude. You know you want it.
I know I want it, but like I don't know.
Can you jump off here?
Do you need Angry Dread, Hyro?
You can't.
The mace? No. One Piece and Hyro are tied for a betrayer. How'd that happen?
I know Hyro's had on his list for a super long time, but I'm sure it was pretty low.
Are you after betrayer at all, Hyro? Right. Juan, you want betrayer?
I'll take it.
All right. Yo, Hyro, something special.
Just looking forward to a high tension roll off.
I accidentally walked into Winter Grasp and got
Feast is down.
flagged for PvP. How rude.
So did anybody want any of that loot that I had linked earlier? I didn't see anything get linked back.
Speaking of PvP flags, you can use your Serenite bombs and sappers on this fight now.
Says the only person that's PvP.
How did I get it? What?
Wait, your PvP flag?
You might have gone
Yeah.
through winter grasp or like clipped it or something when you were flying.
Maybe.
He's trying to
I
bait
did.
us into all flags so he gets lost.
Can I get a 7?
Oh, I just checked that portal thinking it was from Kara. Rip dist. Gone but never forgotten, that man.
Oh yeah. You did have the Atiash. Rip.
That's it for now, Cheese.
Okay.
You're gonna get pally buffs.
Oh yeah.
We only need 2 heals for this one. Hardest part of it there is just during that phase 2 when everybody's getting hit by the meteors as they're falling. Not really meteors, but you know, the guys there flying around cast on random people and it hurts. Alright. Did you want to get unflagged to go? Or are you flagged?
I'm flagged. It's all right.
Like,
Oh, Awkward's flagged too. Do you guys want to go do the whole thing where you like go on a flight path or whatever? We'll just summon you back.
It's all right.
Sure.
It gives me bragging rights if I beat anybody on DPS with not having lust.
Just let's just go.
What do you, we're not. You have to tell us what you're eating though.
Burger.
Oh, nice.
What's on the burger?
Would you mind mukbanging for us?
Onions. Diced onions. Mustard.
Yeah,
It's better than I ever could imagine.
Swift is going for denying the Scion. Let's make sure that if they don't have it, we leave the last one up for them. They'll grab the kill.
All right, cycle this one.
Spark's coming in on this left-hand side. Let's let it get a little bit closer.
I smacked it. Yeah, there you go.
Kill it, kill it. Lust. I'm going to death grip that other one.
Unflagged just in time.
Nice. Second lust, second lust. Well.
Oh, I got the first one.
Oh, nice.
I hate this fight.
We're at range, only hit the Scions, do not hit the Lords. Only hit the Scions, do not hit the Lords. If you're staying out and you get hit, just make sure you use a cooldown. When they get low, just leave them. Try to let Swift get that killing blow. Don't do any dots on that back one in the back. Just leave it. That one at 20%, no dots. Just leave this one. No dots on skull. Just let Swift kill it. Oh, that looks like a dot killed it. It was probably on it for a while. So Swift, Bucksteed, die. If you guys can all make sure you're healing on this one for phase 3. Stay as well. Move away a little bit. Left. 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 Job.
More valor? Is that even more valor than we? That's double the valor we got before for that boss.
Yeah, that's a lot. Just throwing badges at us.
If you're wondering, if you enter that phase while Noggin Foggered like miniaturized, dragon's normal size, but you are still a tiny little man. So it's kind of like Aemond on Vhagar. It's kind of funny.
Wow, some decent loot actually. Not the best loot, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, those boots are nice.
Said to go do
Both
3
boots.
Drake. We will Zerg 3 Drake. We only need 1 healer for it, but we'll need 3 healers for the trash.
How many pieces used to drop from Mali?
We're getting 1 extra. He's dropped 4.
Okay.
Now we're getting 5. Oh wait, this was only 4 too? No, it's 5. No, it was 5.
No, it was 4. I thought we only got 2 from Mali.
No, we got 4 from Meli originally.
Really? That's
Now we
crazy.
got 5.
I thought it was like only. I know we got 4 from OS because there are like 4 bosses there, but not from Mali.
No, OS gave way more than 4. OS gives like 6.
No, it gives 4. Well,
Are you talking about badges?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about loot.
Oh, yeah. No. I was talking about badges. They dropped 4 badges.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it was 4 before. I honestly never looked at what EOE gave though.
I think it was just 2. Just like KT and Ania last boss gave 2.
Summon everybody else inside.
Are you like wondering if the badges amounts changed with the patch too?
Yeah, like for rating. Like I didn't look at it for all the other bosses, but that one I noticed because it gave 4 badges, which was a lot.
I believe Cheese has that enchant, Buxty.
Yeah, I can do all the things, Buxty.
Tricks Buddy, you after Chest Guard of the Recluse?
Yes, please.
Just meet me in OS, I'll do it for you.
Great. Velda and Go, you two are tied for the Arcanic Tramplers. You guys can roll.
And here comes the 6.
Melancholy Sabaton, Swine Piece.
I'll take him.
Auction house is still broken. That's
That's
cool.
well done. Those boots. And go. You're next for Leash of Heedless Magic. You want it?
Gimme, 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 gimme! I'm right here next to you. Gimme!
Shut the fuck up,
Oh
Go.
my god. Go, you're toxic today. Holy fuck.
Holy moly.
I do one heroic with her, and I don't know. I just feel like I have to talk shit.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. You give off an aura, a shit talking aura.
Oh yeah, I'm a shit poster.
Let's make sure we summon Hyro in here.
We don't need him.
And Tricks Buddy as well.
I'm in here.
I'm gonna keep this inevitable defeat Goldar for myself.
Right. Yeah, nobody wanted that from earlier, so.
I'll take that Silent Crusader.
Okay. Anybody else for Silent Crusader? All right, let's start clearing some trash. Actually, do we get Veggie here? Oh, yeah, he's just outside. Just fly inside Veg once you're here. Cloak of Shadowed Sun.
Coming, Parm.
Okay, ready.
Anyone have a Siren's Tear on them? The auction house is broken.
Not on me.
I have one in the bank.
Yeah, I can also conjure one up if you really need it.
No, Valorant. Let's get him rezzed up.
I would need to redo a bunch of buffs as well.
Yeah, I can make the Enchanted Tear. I just need the Siren's Tear.
I'll cry for you, Daddy.
You do have a beautiful voice. You could be a siren.
I'm blushing.
Thank you.
All right. Let's give it a couple seconds, and you can go ahead and do the pull. Feign pull.
I don't know why, but I'm flagged, so I'm just gonna remove it quickly. I don't know why.
Okay.
With your heart, though.
You gotta do the flight skip thing or whatever.
Just let me know. You're good.
So what do you do again? You get on a flight and you turn off PvP, and then when you get summoned off, you'll not have it?
You turn off PvP before you get on the flight, and when you get on the flight, it immediately removes it.
Okay.
I think you're good.
Yeah, just okay. Just waiting for a call. That works.
Go ahead.
What was that? Limical? Let me know, loser.
No.
Nice. Yeah, so we'll definitely just want to one heal this. Did I hear correctly that die you're going to be one healing?
I'll do it.
Okay.
My item rack is broken, so.
Yeah, everybody's is. I
We're
don't think
gonna
it
do
got
the.
updated yet.
We're gonna do the reset.
Yeah, we're resetting, so make sure you're off the platform.
I will do the taunt runaway. Since...
Awesome, thanks, Super.
No problem. Apparently, parses are done, which is really sad.
Yeah, it's technically a new phase. All right, you can go ahead and actually just wait a sec. I'll do a ready check. It's doing a ready check again. One tank, one healer. So Parm will tank it. Dies healing. Everybody else can just DPS. Zug hard on the boss. Don't get hit by the avoidable mechanics.
You want to win your $5 back, Super?
Go ahead and do the reset.
Fire ore instead of retro, please. Valor. No, I definitely want Devo. Just not retro.
First Drake. Firewall. Go through or go far. Void zone melee. Melee. Did you just onk? Middle, safe. Middle, safe.
Super's dead.
Parm got hit. Just big heals on Parm. Keep zogging. Keep zogging. There we go. Good job.
Nice.
Now we're probably going to die.
Illustration and leggings of the honored.
Yeah, just wipe it.
I don't lose $5. Fuck yeah.
So, good job there.
Do you at least gain $5 or?
Just go ahead and wipe because the encounter's not going to end until you guys wipe. The dragons are just going to keep flying around. You either got to wipe or leave the instance.
And no one important died.
Nice. Okay, it did reset. Nice. Now you got your illustration last week, right?
I did.
Perfect. All right. Just let's finish off a bit of this loot. Just really quickly, I'm going to go through all the junk. All right, you want Fool's Trial and Seized Beauty. Any other items? All right. Parm, you got your Dragon Brood leg guards. You want them?
No.
You sure you're the only one on the list?
You can
Swift,
give
you
them
want a
to me.
close trial?
No, I don't.
You don't want them at all? Okay. Anybody want that? All right, illustration. That's looks like Gracious, Swift, Adelaide. You guys are all tied for it. You guys can roll. Swift. Yeah, congrats, Gracious. Just gonna all roll for the mount. Die with a 73, it's looking like.
This is some weak rolls.
Yeah. Is that it? That everybody? Congrats, Die. It's got the large satchel of spoils. We got leggings of the honored. It's myself and Savage. Savage, you can just have them. I don't even know why I have these on my list.
Okay.
Parm. Yeah, thanks for coming, Este. Yeah, don't run away too quick, guys. Like, you can leave raid if you want. It's all good if you're not interested in loot. But in about 10 minutes here, we'll just go over a bunch of stuff for Ulduar. So please make sure you stick around in Discord. There's 2 pieces of 226 loot. I'd love for somebody to take them for eye level set. Calamity's Grasp and Unraveling Strands of Sanity, both 226.
I'll take the clasp.
Okay.
I'll take the belt.
All right.
No, wait, I just got a 226 belt. Never mind.
All right. Swift, do you want the belt? Anybody else want the belt? You guys can just roll for it if you want it. It's just 226, just for eye level. Yeah. If it's for eye level set for everybody, just roll for it. All right, and then Hyro, you said you're probably not going to tank with Last Laugh. And you said you don't want Angry Dread. You were up for it if you wanted it. Okay. All right, I'm up next on it then, so I'll grab it.
Dreads.
All right, and then we'll give Veggie that mace, and that's everything. All right, let's head on over to, well, anywhere really. Out of here.
The steps of Ulduar.
Where you at, Veggie?
Middle of Dow.
Okay. The price for that Calamity's Grasp is not dying to void zones. Shakes fist angrily. It's all good.
Didn't he die to melee?
No, on was it Sarth? I thought he died to
Oh, I don't know.
was it? Yeah, he's Void Blast. It's all good though. We got the kill. It's still a good one shot. All right. Just give me a quick sec here, then I'll share my screen and we'll go over some stuff. All right, change my push to talk key so it's not tilde, so I'm not constantly typing over things.
I'll be right back.
Do you not want the spelt anymore, Swiftman? Guessing not.
No, he didn't want that 226 spell just for eye level.
Yeah, did anybody else want it?
I know Adelaide had talked about it. You might just want to scroll up in your chat. There's also 2 other people who rolled for it. Okay, Adelaide apparently already has it, so one of those other 2 people that rolled for it.
Savage is the only other role I see.
Right. Yeah, I just give it to him. All right, am I sharing the right screen? I think I am.
Guldar, what's this crazy porn you're showing us?
You like it? It's good. It might as well be, really. I mean, look at it. Look at it.
Midgets? Really?
I have to fully update it.
Holy.
It's not fully updated yet. The new one was released today, so we're copying over all of our data that we had into it. But as you can see, it's a lot prettier. It's a lot nicer than our previous ones. It's got lots of pictures. So I guess the kind of key thing, I guess I'll show this. We haven't updated all these assignments here, so don't worry about that too much. I do have them set over here, though. Some of the key things are Elites, Hyro, Go, Adelaide, Magicora, Velda, and Veggie, and Shamilton. I know Shamel's not here, but you guys will be the people who are being sent up to kill the turrets and then to be refilling the pyrite. So I'm not sure if you guys have watched a video on that yet. If you haven't, I definitely highly recommend it. At the start of the fight, all these first people will go up. So that would be Elite Mob, Classico, Magicora, and Veggie. You guys will blow everything you have, kill the turrets as quickly as possible. As soon as they get thrown up, which is basically immediately as the fight starts, Shamilto, Velda, Adelaide, and Hyro, you guys will be passengers in a chopper, and you will just immediately go into your demolisher and immediately start picking up pyrite for them, shooting stuff down from the sky. You know, eventually the turret guys will have killed their turrets, right? The boss will get overloaded. You'll continue to be picking up pyrite. As soon as the boss becomes active again, you immediately go into the, prepare to launch. You get launched up. And then it's just rinse and repeat. Now you guys are killing your turrets, you blow everything you have, and then you just kind of cycle back and forth, right? So for Elite Mob, Go, Magicora, and Veggie, once you guys have killed your turrets, you'll get thrown off the boss. You'll have an assigned chopper. I haven't done the assignments for it yet, but you can see over here that they'll all have different icons that you'll be looking for, so you'll know ahead of time who you're looking for. Within that, you'll know which side of the room you're going to. It'll always be the same side. You're not like you're going to be, going between different sides. Whenever you're launched off of Flame Leviathan, you'll always be looking to go back to that same side, and you'll always be looking for the same chopper. And then Parm and Super, actually mainly Parm, you're the main guy who's going to be interrupting the flame vents. So really your job is to stick as close to Flame Leviathan as possible and always have your interrupt ready to interrupt him anytime he starts casting flame vents. If for any reason he's being chased, we'll have to have somebody else jump in there and help out. So likely Super Trippy. We'll probably have you do it. But for Siege Engine drivers, we've got Super Trippy, Oofster, and Tricks Buddy as well. So just make sure you guys have watched the video and know what you're doing in those. The primary kind of roles, I guess, if we want to go over it, Siege Engines, for Parm, your main goal is just interrupting. You don't really have to worry about anything else. Number one goal is interrupts always. For the other three, Super Trippy, Oofster, and Tricks Buddy, your guys' main goal there is dealing with the ads that are running around. So there's always going to be those little lashers. You always want to try to be dealing with those as best you can. And then again, if for any reason Parm's being chased, helping out with an interrupt if it's needed. If you're one of the turret gunners on one of those engines, so Crispy, Triggered, and Gracious, your jobs are killing the lashers or shooting down Pyrite. It's pretty much always doing one or the other. Another key thing to remember as a driver of honestly anything, never get in front of Flame Leviathan, especially once we do hard mode. We won't be doing it week 1, but we'd like to put in some attempts into it starting week 2. Don't ever get hit by him. If his battering ram hits you, it does an absolute metric butt ton of damage and puts a debuff on you that increases your damage taken, basically guaranteeing that you die. So you can't get hit by it when we do hard mode at all. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Always keep good distance from Flame Leviathan. The demolishers, so demolisher 1, 2, 3, and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 total. You guys are all basically just stacking your pyrite on the boss at all times. You'll always have a passenger. They will always be gathering you pyrite. One other thing to remember as a passenger is that every time you pick up a pyrite barrel, it refills 25. So you don't want to be just hoovering them up like a vacuum. You want to watch that pyrite bar. As soon as it hits about half, grab one. As soon as it hits about half, grab one. If there's nothing directly on you, you're not getting attacked by any of the lashers, be shooting down pyrite, right? And just watch that pyrite meter. It's pretty much your job that if you're not up killing a turret, that you are maintaining the pyrite sack or maintaining pyrite resource to the demolisher as best you can. If we're going to kill this, it's the demolishers that kill the boss. And they kill it by having a high pyrite stack for the entire fight. So it's really important that we get that down. And then with the choppers here, so to start, that's going to be myself, Valoran. Actually, why does it say myself, Valoran? It shouldn't be myself, Valoran. It should be Buxty, myself, Swift, and Die. I'll get that updated there. So Swiftmend, myself, Buxty, and Die will all be in choppers. Our goal pretty much is to lay down an oil slick in front of the green beams. That's where the ads will spawn. They're typically in the corners of the rooms. Otherwise, we're waiting for an overload to happen, and as soon as the overload happens, we need to already be in position near Flame Leviathan, picking up our assigned DPS who's hopping off the Flame Leviathan from killing the turret, and bringing them straight back to our assigned corner. So again, that's something that we'll have assigned here, so look for that. I'll make sure to ping you guys once we have it all in. All right, sorry, my keyboard just went crazy there. My driver decided to update at a really random time. So does that kind of make sense for everybody as far as basic assignments on Flame Leviathan? When we do go in there week 1, try to follow these assignments. But since we're doing normal mode, it's not as strict. You can pretty much just zug it down by spamming him with pyrite. We can definitely give him 1 overload, but that's pretty much all it'll be like 1 overload. If everybody's been hitting him with pyrite that whole time and the secondary gunners have been refilling that pyrite, he's pretty much already dead. So it's a very quick fight when you do it in normal mode if you do it coordinated.
Are the chopper assignments just going to be in the Flame Leviathan tab? Like the who are assigned DPS are?
Yes, exactly. Well, you can tell here, right? So, but yes, if you are, say, for example, Chopper 1, right? This may change, right?
We just are with Chopper 1 is Demolisher 1.
Yes, it'll also be over here, like you'll see here, right? That you've got one assigned, right? Chopper 4 is assigned to or star and square technically, right? Stuff like that. So you'll see here, right? But yeah, you can see chopper 4, demolisher 4, chopper 3, demo 3, chopper 2, demo 2, chopper 1, demo 1. So you're always going to be responsible for that side.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't see Spell Farm as having an assignment in a vehicle.
Oh, did I forget about you in there and miss one? I was copying it all over, so I might have made a mistake when I copied it. I'll double check. I might have missed something. I'll double check, make sure you're in there.
And because this is One Piece, because I'm coming on my Paladin week 1, do you want me to just do the same thing?
We're not positive of that yet, but we'll let you know.
Gotcha.
Likely for Flame Leviathan, the assignments aren't really that important. The number one key thing is who's driving the demolishers. So how I determined that is I went through our logs and I checked to see who actually had the highest item level equipped. I know that can change if you have 226 eye level sets or anything like that. So if you do have a set like that, if you can just message it to me and tell me what your average item level is. Currently, everybody here who's paddling a demolisher had an item level of 216 or 217. So those were our highest average eye levels of people, just people.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty high going into it. So I wasn't that worried about it at that point, right? When you start going over that, 212 area, it's really kind of fine, especially for week 1 where we're not going to be doing hard mode. For XT, I mean, XT is relatively simple. I know a few of us were on the PTR together. Let me go over here to this. So this is probably just how we'll do it, just to make it simple. We'll just go exactly how it is on the diagrams here. The bots only spawn during his heart exposure phase. So it's important to remember that we're DPSing the boss. Once you DPS him to past 25%, he exposes his heart. We DPS his heart. We don't want to kill it because we do not want to engage hard mode week 1. We just want to get through this and move on to some of the other bosses in there, make sure we get our clear in. When the ads are coming in, it's going to be really big for the hunters. So Savage and likely Centergy will likely have you two guys really dealing with these. Slowing traps are really good. And then whenever you kill the bomb bots, they explode and they will kill anything around them. So they'll do damage to you if you're too close, but they'll also kill any of the other bots around. The only ones that's mainly the scrap bots. There's also these elites that are a little bit stronger that'll come in. Super, you're going to be the one picking those up. You could basically wait near the boss for them to come in, though. It's mostly only the hunters that have to kind of get out here to make sure that they're dealing with these before they get too close, because we want to make sure that we're killing off the bomb bots before they actually get too close to the raid. If they do get too close to the raid, they bomb us, right? It hurts. It's kind of unfortunate. It ends up hurting a lot. For Assembly of Iron, this is potentially one that we could do hard mode week 1. The only thing I worry about is time, right? The hard mode of it is just, it takes a bit more time. It's quite a bit more coordination. One of the things that I guess we kind of have a bit of a benefit of, we're going to be making a little bit of a switch to our tanking. Hyra wants to go more into a DPS role, and then Super is going to be taking over more of a tank role. One of the things that does give us, though, is it gives us the opportunity to use Safeguard as an external cooldown for the tanks. So, for example, if we do hard mode of Council here, phase 3 with Steel Breaker, where he's hitting his fusion punch, we can potentially use a intervene on every other fusion punch, which is like a 30% damage reduction, which is pretty substantial. Go back to this sheet here. So for the Assembly of Iron, and I guess for honestly most bosses first week, we've just assigned an MD and a Trix to the main tank just to make sure that we're not going to have any initial threat issues. It's likely that since we'll have 2 hunters, we may just change this straight off the bat, but for now, we're just leaving that as is. So we'll have a hunter misdirect and a Trix, and then we'll go from there. Likely, already going into second week, we'll probably give the Trix back to the DPS so we can get some more damage out of it, particularly out of the Affliction Warlocks. So far for the tantrums, I'm not sure if anybody else has any other ideas, but for the first one, we thought we could use Parm's Raid Sack and die if you wanted to use your Divine Hymn. You don't have to, but if you already have everybody shielded, you might as well use Divine Hymn, as it's pretty good healing for the
I love
the
anytime
cost.
I get to use Divine Hymn.
Awesome, perfect. And then for the second one, Buxty, you'd Raid Sack. We have Health Stones available if anybody in the raid was low. And then on the third one, we'd have Aura Mastery, Devotion Aura.
Goldar, I can also, like, I have two talent sets that I can go Divine Sack to or
sweet.
Mastery, whichever one you want me to go.
In red, eh?
Yeah, I'll just sacrifice, like, a little bit of damage. It's the lowest damaging class anyways, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually awesome to hear. Okay, that changes
so
a bit.
you totally have a totally extra Divine Sacrifice and or Mastery if you want to.
Okay, sweet. That's awesome. That's really good to know. So that may change how we do some of this, but I'll have to kind of go over some of the assignments, and then I can get this out to you guys, and we can see if it'll work. But I think that's a really good idea, because if we have 3, that makes certain things a lot easier. Maybe even here, for example, right? We can we can then use a Divine Guardian and an Aura Mastery Devo, right? And that's just so much damage reduction, because Tantrum is physical damage. So it's a good thing to remember. DKs, you can technically mitigate a whole bunch of it if we want. If we go into Frost Presence, we don't have to, though. Same thing with Awkward. You can go Bear for it if you're low, and you can mitigate a lot of it. But it's not something that we'll probably really want to do. I mean, obviously, we want to try to be killing the boss as quickly as we can, which means, DPSing through the tantrums. Big thing to keep in mind, though, is if anybody gets light bomb during tantrum, it can happen. And if they get a light bomb during tantrum and they have to get out, they take a lot of damage very fast. They'll need some type of external to survive, or it's pretty much just GG, they're dead. It's a lot of damage, and they can overlap. Yeah, so not too much to it. Like we said, Bombot Killers is Savage and Schizo. Ad Tank was Super. Parm, you're just on the boss. Again, we're not killing the heart week 1. That's a really big thing to remember. We'll get pretty close to killing it, so don't kill it. It'll activate hard mode, and then that's just kind of unfortunate for us. For Assembly of Iron, we didn't really set a specific Chain Lightning kick rotation, as it's the only ability that can't be kicked. So I'll probably try to set one just to have it, but what I'll probably honestly do is just assign like 3 people and just kick every one pretty much, right? Things like DKs, enhancement shamans are pretty good at it, because we can kick without wasting an interrupt and without really wasting too much resource. The only thing I guess I'm not 100% certain of is it super costly for you, Veggie, if you have to kick?
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay.
I mean, it's another thing to pit, but
yeah,
not at all.
Okay. Then phase 2, we got Static Disruption. So all these abilities, if you don't know what they are, if you go to the actual tab, it does say exactly what they are. So you can see here, Static Disruption deals nature damage to a random player and anybody within 6 yards, then increases their nature damage taken by 75% for 20 seconds. So he's going to keep throwing this around, and that's the big guy, Steelbreaker, that's going to be doing this. Best way to handle this is literally just the healers. You have the healers off in Narnia, spread out, and they're the ones who are basically baiting this. It will always prefer somebody at ranged instead of going to somebody close. So if you have healers out, spread out, it'll always go to them. It will never go to the melee. So that's the easiest way to heal that. So that's why in the assignments here, it's going to be everybody. I just have 4th healer listed here. Like you kind of mentioned earlier, the One Piece has a really geared Holy Pally, so he may be coming in to heal for us in the first week if we need it. Otherwise, I do have a geared Resto Shaman as well that'll be available. Normally, we would have Mincy, but he's going to be super busy in EU this week. They're trying to do like push for a bunch of stuff over there, so he may probably not be raiding with us on the Thursday. So just trying to make sure we plan around that to make sure we don't have them. So here's what I was mentioning about Fusion Punch CD rotations. This is one of the ones that I'm not sure about. Buxty, how do you feel about something like that, using a Hand of Sack bubbling yourself?
My only question is, would I be using Divine Guardian? I guess because Divine Guardian cuts off at 20% health, so I think it would be fine. As long as I'm getting it out of the way, like right at the start, then it still sets me up so I can wings as well.
Yeah,
So
so I think the idea here behind the CD rotation is that we use your Hand of Sack early when the damage is kind of relatively low, all things considered. The raid damage hasn't really gone crazy, and it's just the first fusion punch. So you're using that, and then by the time we get further on down, and we're hitting like, you know, a lot more raid damage and a lot more tank damage, we're at a point where you won't be in forbearance anymore from bubbling yourself. I'm not sure if we'll need that. Like now that I know that we could potentially have Valorant do a raid sack as well. There's always that potential as well. Anywhere where we were thinking about doing something like this, we could potentially just use his raid sack.
I mean, honestly, if you throw in his raid sack down at number 6, or even at like number 4 or 5, just because he can go immune during it too, so that'll just be like a free 20% off of the tank.
Yeah.
In the raid.
Well, that's what I was saying. He would talent for it, so he would actually get the full 20% damage reduction from the raid as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also have Intervene from Super Trippy, which with Safeguard talented is 30% damage reduction. It's very beneficial. The other thing to remember, Cheese, is this Fusion Punch leaves a debuff on you. It's a massive dot. Healers will try to get it off you as quickly as possible, but oftentimes they're going to be doing a lot of other things, right? The Holy Paladin's going to be just dunking big holy lights into you. You know, Dai's probably going to be throwing out shields and maybe doing a prayer and whatever else, right? Or throwing out a penance. So if you see that Fusion Punch come, just immediately cleanse yourself. Just don't even delay. Immediately cleanse yourself. All other healers should be watching for it as well. And if it's on there for any more than a second, just cleanse it. But if you have that spare time, it's really good to just cleanse yourself.
Okay.
The dot, if it's left up, does more than the punch. So it's like, it gets really bad. Overwhelming power really depends on our damage, whether we'll even get one. So that's the debuff that he puts on you. If you guys did second boss of the second raid of Classic, where you get a debuff and after a certain amount of time you die and you explode. It's the exact same thing. So you'll get Overwhelming Power. This is when Steelbreaker's the only guy alive. He'll cast Overwhelming Power. It'll always be on his primary target. It'll always be on the tank. When you have it, you'll do a massive amount of increased damage. But after, I think it's 20 seconds, you'll explode and die. So if we're going to get that and you're going to explode and die, Super Trippy has to taunt off of you just before you die, like, you know, with 5 or less seconds left, and then you have to run away. When the tank dies from this, actually I should say anytime anybody dies in phase 3, the boss heals for, I think it's like 20% of his health. It's crazy. So getting more than one death in phase 3 is pretty much a guaranteed wipe. So it's like we can afford the one death to Overwhelming Power. We can't really afford any other deaths. So it's really important that we manage everything properly. Like I said, there's quite a few different mechanics. The key ones that we're mostly going to be worried about are Rune of Death, which is going to come from Rune Master Molgheim. That's going to be after Stormcaller Brundir dies. Rune Master Molgheim will be able to start casting Rune of Death. And the Rune of Death deals, what was that, 3,500 shadow damage every half second. It's a huge green rune. Like, it's like a green Death and Decay that's just massive. It's absolutely huge. You will die very fast if you don't move. If it goes out, you have to just stop what you are doing and run. It will kill you very, very, very quickly. You cannot be healed through it. You have to get out. There's the Rune of Shields. This can be spell stolen. It's actually really good to spell steal. As you notice, it does increase your damage by 50% while you have it. So it's very, very good to have. Mages definitely watch for it. I'm sure there'll be some weak auras and other things out for sniping the spell steal on that. But I'm sure if you want to parse, getting that spell stolen will be pretty big. It's a pretty huge buff. The other one is Rune of Power. It's a little blue rune. Honestly, it's not much bigger than that little circle that they put up there, that little blue rune. Anything standing within it, it includes the enemies, deals 50% more damage. So whenever you see one down, you always want to be within it. The only exception to that is if it is within one of the bigger runes of death. You never stand in a rune of death. Our transition from phase 2 into phase 3, we'll want to make sure that we have one of these runes of power down that's accessible to us and that has been recently placed. So if we do hard mode and if it's looking good and we're going into phase 3, we may call to slow DPS on Rune Master so that we can wait to get a new blue rune in a good location. Then we'll kill Rune Master and then we'll go into phase 3. If we are doing hard mode, that's definitely when we would want to lust, is that phase 3. Again, it's really going to depend on how it goes. I don't want to press us for time and have us not clear week 1. It's going to be really important for us to clear. All right. Does anybody kind of have any questions about any of the stuff so far? I know I haven't gone into like super big detail, but
yeah, I'm just recalling from the PTR on that on the council fight that the giants have strange hitboxes of different sizes than you would expect by their character models.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Steelbreaker, the big guy, that'll be you, Cheese, and Super, you'll be taking Mulgeim and Brundir, so you'll be taking Stormcaller and Rune Master. Rune Master is interruptible, or sorry, not Rune Master, Stormcaller is interruptible, stunnable, pretty much anything. So his Chain Lightning is always kickable. You can't kick or stun him during Overload. He'll become immune. It's the only time you can't. Honestly, it deals a massive amount of nature damage. It's like 25k. It's survivable. I wouldn't recommend eating it unless you have a large personal to survive. It's not really going to be worth us using any kind of raid cooldown on it early on. In later weeks, when we're comfortable with it or we're going for more of a burn, we may just eat it and use an external to eat it. But especially in their week 1, just make sure you get away from Overload unless you have something huge that you can survive it with, like a AMS from a DK, you'll survive, or Dispersion from a Shadow Priest, you'll survive. But otherwise, just make sure you get away. Things like Lightning Whirl, Lightning Tendrils, we're not really going to have to deal with unless we do normal mode. They're pretty easy mechanic. Lightning Whirl, you just kind of get away from him when he does it, if we do that. But it's if we do normal mode counts as a relatively easy encounter, all things considered. Kolagarn, one that's, again, kind of very simple. He doesn't have a hard mode or anything. We don't DPS his left arm. It's kind of stage naming, so his left arm is on our right. X is actually his left arm. We don't DPS that. You don't need to worry about it at all. What we're going to be doing is just killing his right arm, which is on our left. You always kill it. After you kill it, some ads will spawn their little rumblers. Those rumblers just have to be picked up. When they die, they explode, do some raid damage. We'll likely just use a, Devo or anything like that, raid sack, something to mitigate that damage, just to make sure we're not taking too much. After his hand dies as well, it'll respawn like 30 seconds later. But pretty much, it's a very simple fight. Kill the hand, kill Kolagarn, kill the hand, kill Kolagarn, kill the hand, kill Kolagarn, and he's pretty much dead. Every time a hand dies, he takes a big chunk of damage as well, which is nice. So killing the hand is still useful damage. It still ends the fight quicker. The reason we only focus down his right hand, which again, it's kind of confusing, it's on our left when we're looking at him, is because it grabs people and squeezes them, and if you don't kill the hand to release them, they die. And I think it takes, like here, you can see Stone Grip, right? Stuns 3 players in the rail, deals damage every second until the player dies. If you don't kill the hand, that's basically how you free them, is you have to kill the hands. So that's all we'll be doing on that one. Very easy fight. Ignis, I didn't really go over this. It's going to be pretty much just like it was for us when we were doing it in the PTR. Cheese, I know we didn't do this initially when we were there, but basically you just keep one fire patch out. When there's no fire patch, you just turn them to the kind of area over here next to the water. You let the fire go out, and then you go back in the water. That way, every time he puts down a new fire, it's just in the water. You don't really have to move other than every once in a while just to get a new one out. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, so what we were doing accidentally on the PTR, we want to be doing intentionally this time.
Exactly. Just more controlled.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So his mechanics aren't too crazy. It's actually, all things considered, a very easy fight. One of the things he does periodically is flame jets. It's like a big jet of flame comes out of him, knocks you up in the air. If you're casting when it finishes, you'll be spell locked for, I think it's like 8 seconds or 10 seconds, so it's kind of brutal. Just make sure you stop casting so you don't get spell locked out of that. We'll have a raid, mitigation cooldown for that as well, just to make sure that we're not taking too much damage. And for the slag pot, if you do get thrown in, it's really actually a benefit. You can still DPS while you're in there, and you get a buff that increases your damage done, I believe. Yeah, I think it is increased damage done.
It's haste.
It's haste. Okay, sorry.
And I think it's when you get like spit out of the pot.
You may be correct.
That you get the haste.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
But yeah, you can still DPS while in the pot though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely can. So for Oriaya, the pictures doesn't really tell us too much here. You kind of line of sight pull it, so we'll all be kind of hiding around the wall here. We'll have it MD'd to our tank. So if we go to our assignments, we already kind of set that. I've just got to fix all the sheets so that all automatically goes over there. So for Oriaya though, Parm, you'll be main tanking it. Super Trippy, you're on the Sentinels and the Feral Defenders. And Schizophrenic, you'll be MDing on pull to MD Oriaya in. Whenever we're fighting her, we have to be standing in front of her. Her ability here, I believe it's called Sonic Screech. Yep, it's a frontal cone and it splits all the damage between all enemies hit. It's like, I don't actually remember the exact amount of damage, but it'll one-shot a tank. It'll honestly one-shot like 10 people. So you need the entire raid basically stacked in front of her, everybody except the tank. So when Super's off picking up the ads, obviously he might not be there with us, but we all have to be there. Then the other thing that we're really worried about is, correct me if I'm wrong, when the ads die, they leave a pool on the ground, right?
I don't remember
yeah,
that.
I think they do actually. Yeah, and they also like focus one person down.
They can, yeah. They'll just be cleaved down during the fight. Like we won't directly
It's just
target
the big
them.
ones.
Yeah,
It's just the big ones that'll do the pull thing.
yeah. So when Super picks him up, he'll bring him near the boss. We just kind of cleave them down while we kill Oriaya. And then right as they're getting low and they're about to die, you just have to make sure you pull them out, Super. Otherwise, you'll leave that like puddle underneath of us, which we don't want. The other thing we have to worry about is Sentinel Blast. I was trying to figure out a good rotation for this. I'm still not 100% certain what we're going to do. The trouble is these often line up with her fear ability that she does, Terrifying Screech. So she'll fear everybody in the entire raid, and then she'll start casting the Sentinel Blast.
Do you want us to focus down that AOE, those ads, or is it just passive?
Just passive cleave. If there's a lot of them, you may need a little bit of active cleave, but typically there's only 1 or 2 up at a time.
I think it's a small range on that Screech. I think we just back up.
Are we able to avoid it completely?
Yeah, I think you just back up.
If we could, it'd be good. I might need to look into that because I haven't seen any strategies that are outranging it yet. Do you have anything that shows that?
I just have verbiage here that says that the group back up. So okay. I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah. If you can send me that, that'd be great. For Freya, Parm, you'll be tanking Freya. Super, you'll be on the ads. The ads that are going to come up throughout the fights, there's 3 kind of main types of ads, I guess. Let's go over to Freya herself. There's the Ancient Conservator, Detonating Lashers, and Elemental Trio. The Detonating Lashers cannot be tanked, so when those come out, we all stack underneath Freya, and that's where we have our knockback rotation. So that's what we have over here in assignments. So go, you'd knock back first. Adelaide, you knock back second. I put Force here with Blast Wave. Force, I'm not 100% certain if you have Blast Wave. And I think Magic Aura, you're saying you're also going to go Fire for Ulduar, is that correct? Or are you still going to be Arcane?
I can get it. I'll just respec.
Okay. Well, I just need to know if we have more than one, right? Because it's always good to know. I guess if you just let me know later, Magic, if you're planning on going Arcane or Fire for the majority of Ulduar, it'll just help me to be able to plan that. Be nice if we had a Warlock for the stun, but right now, since we only have the one Demonology, Tigurius, I'm not sure if we'd have anybody to go Demo on that, but potentially, I think Crispy might have tried Demo a couple times early on. Could be potentially a fight where you could try Demo if you wanted, because having a can't even remember what it's called, Shadow Fury for the stun could be very beneficial.
I have Shadow Fury.
Oh, you have Shadow Fury. Is that in Demo? You have Shadow Fury?
Yeah, it's Demo. Yeah.
No, that's Destro.
Yeah, I thought it was Destro.
I have something like a cone.
Yeah, no, it's not a cone. It's like a thing you target on the ground.
I have like I have a cone that like blasts and stuns for 0.5 seconds. It's AOE.
Yeah, it's different. We can't be that close. When the lashers die, they explode. So you need to be able to stun them from range. Otherwise, like, yeah, if you went in to do that, you would die. You could do it early, which is totally fine, but you wouldn't want to do it as part of this CC rotation. So basically, the detonating lashers, as they get low to about, say, if we have 3 knockbacks, we could probably do around 30%. They'll get to 30%, Go will knock them back. As they start moving forward, Adelaide will knock them back. If they get too close again, we have Force to knock them back again. During that time, we also have slows here. So I have Savage, Schizo, Veggie, and Mincy. They're just all 4 of you there. All 4 of you have decent ways to slow them down, whether that be through a trap or a totem. Just make sure that those are down during that, and it should be good. Hyro, I've got you here on the Snap Lasher, Chains of Ice, Icy Touch, Kiting. That's part of the trio of ads that spawn. So we'll go back over to Freya here. There's the Elemental Trio. The big thing is that they all have to die at the same time. The Snap Lasher is pretty much the most dangerous one. It looks like a typical little vine monster elemental. It can be tanked for the first little bit. So like when they all spawn pretty much together, Super, you can just immediately pick them up like a Thunderclap. They're all stunnable, so Shockwave is great. You'll immediately pick them up. But after every time that the Snap Lasher gets hit by a melee attack, it's going to continue to get a stacking buff that increases its physical damage done. So it'll reach a point where it'll literally one-shot a tank, and there's nothing you can do about it. So basically, as soon as you've picked it up, we've started to lay into them with a little bit of AoE. You're going to have to taunt it off, be in Frost Presence, hit it with, Chains of Ice, Icy Touch, that kind of stuff to keep threat on it and keep it slowed, and just kind of kite it just around Freya, nice and close as possible, because again, we need to try to kill these all at the same time. Otherwise, they do revive. The other ones that we have to worry about here, let me go to my sheet where I was copying stuff over. So the Storm Lasher, it looks like a Storm Elemental, pretty much. It can be kicked when it casts Storm Bolt. So Mincy, Veggie, myself, and I put Elite for that. If we just watch it and kick it, but honestly anybody can. Rogues are good for it. Super, if you're nearby, you should be, because you should be tanking both of them. You can definitely kick them. The last one is a Water Elemental. It does like a frontal cone attack. You just have to make sure that it's faced away. Periodically it'll target a random person and cast, I think it's called Storm Surge. I'm not 100% if it's interruptible, but it is stunnable. So try to interrupt it. If it doesn't work, we can still stun it. But the big thing with those 3 ads, again, is they all have to die at the same time. Snap Lasher must be kited. It can't be tanked for the whole duration. Melee, try not to hit the Snap Lasher if you can. Try to focus the other 2, the Storm Lasher and the, what was its name there?
Storm Lasher can have all of his abilities interrupted.
Yeah, the Storm Lasher and the Surger. Just make sure that you try to interrupt those as best you can, or try to hit those as much as you can. Let range try to deal more with the Snap Lasher, but again, we're AoEing them all down at the same time. So there's a lot of moving parts to this one. The Ancient Conservator, he's kind of honestly, in some ways, the easiest one, especially if we're doing normal mode. When he comes out, he puts out an aura that silences everybody, but he spawns a bunch of mushrooms. When you're standing under a mushroom, you do bonus damage and you're not silenced. It's pretty much that simple. There's other mechanics that we'll have to deal with when we are doing hard mode that's going to be important to look out for. Biggest one is probably Ground Tremor. It does do physical damage, so armor is good for mitigating that. If you do get hit by it while you're casting, you are silenced for 8 seconds. So it's very similar to flame vents or flame jets, whatever it was called. So just make sure you're not getting hit by that. DBM does call it out. It does a lot of damage, so it's really important for healers, especially if you get silenced by this or the 8-second spell locked by that, it's really bad. So make sure you're watching for that. Iron Roots are going to be going out throughout the fight. Just make sure we DPS them down. They do a big amount of damage. You can't freedom out of them or bubble out of them or anything. If you bubble, you'll block the damage, but you'll still be rooted. They do have to be killed. They don't have a lot of health, but they have enough that you have to actually turn and target them. In some ways, similar to the web wraps in Naxx, just far more dangerous. They can also coincide with things like solar flares, which is like a sunbeam that comes down from the sky. Don't stand in it. Does a lot of damage. Really sucks. Now, the last one we'll have to worry about is Nature's Fury, which is a debuff that she'll put on you. Just get away from people. It does just AoE damage to everybody around you. It's not a huge radius. I think it's only like 10 yards. It's pretty easy to get away, but just make sure you get away from that. Other thing, little tree will spawn, Ianar's Gift. Just kill it. They don't have a lot of health. If you see one near you, just turn and kill it. It's very easy. Anybody have any kind of questions about Freya?
30% just sounds like high to start with the knockbacks.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that as well, especially given how things kind of went on the PTR. But with a full organized raid group, I feel like our AoE damage will be higher than what we were used to there. Potentially, we could take it down to 20%. I think that's what we ended up doing on the PTR, especially when we didn't have the Shadow Fury stun from range. So if we don't have that, we may go down to 20% for the first knockback. I guess realistically as well, just, as we get in there and we're doing it for the first time, we'll get a feel for how quickly they're dying, right? If, they drop from, 60% to 40% in, less than 10 seconds, then okay, maybe something around, 30 to 25% is probably right. But if we're quite slow at killing them and it's, taking us, 20 seconds to do 20% of their health, then, yeah, we probably need to edge that down and maybe do the first knockback closer to 20%.
And along with that, like I was saving Starfall for the last 50% of the ad. So if you have an AoE spell, don't pop it at the start of that lasher phase.
Yeah, well, you do and you don't, right? So any kind of melee AoE, obviously you're just going to have to use it right away. Things like Warlock Seeds, those kind of things, you're trying to kill them all at the exact same time when they're pushed away. So you want to even the damage to them as best as possible. But to Go's point, if you have an ability like Starfall, where it's a cooldown, but it's a ranged AoE that's very easy to use, save it. Save it for that first knockback, pop that AoE, and kill them while they're far away. All right, for Hodir, Frozen Blows is kind of the biggest damage dealer that we're going to see through the fights. So again, we do have a cooldown rotation for it. The big thing is more on the raid. I did put Super Trippy to intervene the tank for this one. I don't know if it's really going to be necessary. Frozen Blows hurts the tank, but the biggest issue is absolutely the raid DPS that's going to come out of that. Not too big of a concern on Hodir. Hodir himself is relatively simple fights. Yeah, there's not much of a picture here at all. The hardest one that we're going to have to worry about really is Flash Freeze. So periodically throughout the fight, there's going to be a big circle you'll see on the ground, big blue circle. Snowball is going to fall from the sky. If you get hit by that, you get thrown across the room. About 3 seconds after that snowball lands, he's going to finish casting Flash Freeze. If you're not on the snow, you will get frozen. If we get frozen, that's pretty much GG. We're not doing the hard mode timer. And it's not a fight that we're going to try to repeat multiple times or anything like that. We definitely just want to get through it. The hard mode's going to be something that comes very naturally through getting the gear, getting a bit more DPS, things like that. It is a fight that if done properly and people aren't getting frozen and we're getting the NPCs out of their ice blocks quickly, it goes fairly fast. And we will be very comfortable with it. And it's one that's easily 3 healable if we're doing it right. The other one is the ice shards that fall from the sky. That's going to be a much smaller blue circle. It's not like crazy damage. It's 12,000, which hurts. And if that's during frozen blows, you're probably going to die. So make sure you're avoiding it. But the biggest annoyance with that is it will put out any fires. So there's different buffs that you get throughout the encounter. There's little fires. If you have a fire buff, I believe it gives you a buff that makes you do a small amount of fire damage to the boss and give it a stack that increases its magic damage taken. I believe it stacks up to 50 times. I believe it's it stacks up to 25 times, and it's 2% bonus damage per stack. So it gets up to 50%. So you want those fires out. It means your entire raid is doing 50% more magic damage to Hodir, which is huge. And that comes from one of the NPCs. So you'll see here in assignments for Hodir, we actually have specific people assigned to break each person out of their blocks, right? So these are the different NPCs that are in that fight. We're not super worried about the priests, you'll notice. There's nothing really in here. There's also these 4 people, Go, Adelaide, Force, and Magic. You guys are just assigned to AoE. So basically, as soon as the NPCs get frozen, you guys just pop your AoE, do as much damage to as many of them as you can, try to help out, right? But here's the other people, and they're all assigned to an individual NPC to get them out. The key to doing this fight as quickly as possible is to have these buffs at all times. So these mages, they, I believe, are the ones who put out put the fire out for us. So that gives us the extra damage and the bonus magic damage taken. These druids, they give us it's like a solar beam from the sky. So you'll see it, it's like a white beam. If you stand in that, you also get a buff. And then these shamans, their buff that they give you, periodically they'll buff somebody with, I think it's called Storm Cloud or something like that. Basically, it's a buff that goes on you and it buffs everybody around you. So what you want to do is if you get it, you run it through other people. So this is a fight where most of the things that hit you in the fight are actually a buff. The fires you want to be near but never standing on because they can get put out by the ice shards when they fall. So you never want an ice shard to fall on the fire. You always want to be standing in one of the beams if you can. And then you want to run the Storm Cloud buff through everybody to make sure that we're getting the maximum buff on the entire raid. The final thing that I forgot to mention is the fires. If you're standing near a fire, you don't get the debuff that you'll get for being in the Hodir fight. So constantly going out, does it talk about it here? Yes, it does. Biting Cold. It's an aura that stacks a dot. When you move, it goes down. When you're standing still, it goes up. It's just like Nexus. So you never want to be standing still for more than, one cast. You always want to stutter step. Same thing with melee, Just be edgy, be jumping around all the time, be moving side to side. Don't let that stack up. It does a lot of damage if you're not moving. Make sure we dispel freeze. It's going to be really important. Potentially, it's going to hit multiple people because it is an AoE. It does hit everybody within 10 yards of the person he targets. So, people are going to be lightly stacked near certain things. In 25-man, there's 2 mages, there's 2 druids, there's going to be multiple buff things going around everywhere. Try to not be everybody stacked in the same spot. If you are, though, it's going to be really important from you that you get a mass dispel off as soon as a freeze goes out to make sure that we're not taking too many biting cold stacks and to make sure that people aren't stuck in icicles.
I could put the minor mass dispel glyph on if I need to do it multiple times.
Yeah, you'll be doing it multiple times through the fight.
Yeah.
As far as Hodir goes, that's pretty much it. It's really just a matter of understanding the fight, seeing the buffs, understanding how to get them all, getting the NPCs out quickly, and just understanding the cadence of the fights. And once we have that down, hard mode will pretty much come naturally. And it's just understanding those mechanics. And again, in the Discord, down in Olduar, there are videos that go over all this in a lot more detail than I'm going through. But just want to make sure that you guys roughly understand what we're going to be doing each week, roughly understand the mechanics. And like I said, this will also be going out either tonight or tomorrow. We'll get this out to everybody so that you guys will have it before raid tomorrow, or before raid on Thursday. Thorim hard mode is one that we are definitely going to be trying week 1. It's pretty much natural that you do it. You activate hard mode by getting through the gauntlet within 2 minutes. If we don't get through the gauntlet in 2 minutes, it means everybody died in the gauntlet. Like, it's pretty much just going to happen, whether we want it to happen or not. And if we wanted to not do hard mode, we'd literally have to stand around and wait, which I don't think is really worthwhile of doing. All hard mode really does is Sif comes and joins him and casts a couple annoying abilities. She casts a blizzard periodically. The blizzard moves around the room, similar to that one fight in Karazhan, the Shade of Iran. So just make sure you don't stand in it. It'll never go to the middle of the room, but it will go around the outside of the room. Just make sure you're not standing in it. Get out of it. It's avoidable damage. The other thing she does periodically is an AoE Frost Nova. Doesn't mention her abilities here. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, and she does do the Frost Nova as well. So again, it's a good one to dispel. It hurts pretty bad. You'll see here from the picture that there's a lot of different groups. Everybody's kind of spread out, and I'll go over those assignments. That's mostly to avoid this chain lightning damage. It deals 50% more damage every time it bounces. It is just like the mechanic from Zilliq. Instead of Holy Beam, it's a chain lightning. If you're stacked up too many people, it gets crazy damage. It'll start one-shotting people. So that's why we're spread out here, is to avoid that damage. The other thing is, this is really important for tanks. He will do an unbalancing strike, Thorim. It deals a huge amount of damage, hurts real bad. Like, it'll do well over half your health and damage, if not 3/4 plus. Like, it hurts really bad. And it will reduce your defense skill by 200. So now you're critable. So it's very important that you guys taunt swap as soon as that comes out. So make sure your DBM alerts are up for that. Make sure you're hovering your taunt key. As soon as it says unbalancing strike on whoever your other tank is, you have to immediately taunt. They did fix it on the PTR. For a while it was bugged and he could melee while he unbalancing struck, and it would basically instantly one-shot. That's not happening anymore, but he can still melee within, I think it's half a second, depending on his melee swing timer cooldown. So you still have to be really quick about it.
So the strike is a casted ability, like you'll see him do it like a slam?
No, it's instant cast.
Okay.
It's like most boss abilities. It has a cooldown, so he's not like he's going to spam it. But once it's available, he'll just cast it at some point in the future. DBM will announce it, though, so just make sure you watch for it.
Oh, it's literally just the ability from Twin Imps.
Pretty much, yep. But instead of having to eat it, you actually have somebody to taunt off for you.
Did you mention the mind control as well?
Not sure if we're going to do the mind control. It's a buff that we can get in the beginning, but it's not super vital, I guess. Most of the time, at least on like the PTR and other things people were doing, they were only mind controlling it to delay the first phase to get everybody ready to run down the ramp. But I don't even know if we're going to do that.
It was just for the clarity buff.
Yeah, for the buff to give out, yeah. It's doable if we want. We wouldn't want our healer to do it, but especially because they're going down. Gracious is also going down. You can see here that it's pretty much all ranged and 2 healers and super trippy. I have myself in there just in case I heal. We'll change this if it's not me. But Parm, you'll be staying inside here along with all the melee. Buxty and Swift, you'll be up in here as well. This is for phase 1. There's just going to be ads jumping down around the room. Just make sure you pick them up. The smaller ads, they hit okay. You don't really want to tank them if you're not a tank. Try to make sure they pick them up. The big guys, they whirlwind. It hits really hard. Don't eat it. Make sure a tank has them. They also do a mortal strike. It'll one-shot you if you're not a tank.
So just make sure you're kind of cautious about that. Don't get too overzealous. Let them get picked up. They don't have a lot of health. They're relatively easy to kill. Make sure they get picked up. So for the all the different range stacks here, to make sure we're spread out, in 1 here, that's Die and Tigurius. For 2, that's Buxty, Magic, and Triggered. For 3, it's Classico and Crispy. For 4, if we get a Healer 5, it'll be Healer 5. In 4, it'll be Adelaide and Velda. 5, it'll be Gracious and Force. In 6, it'll be Swift and Savage. And in 7, it'll be Centergy and potentially myself if I'm healing. If not, I'll be in one of these melee groups. Melee groups, you'll see here there's 4 on one side. That's actually on the side that's over here facing this little hole. The reason that you guys are on this side is because this side gets the least of the little lightning charges. So around the room, you can kind of see them. They're not the easiest to see. These little, or I should say large little conduits around the room. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. I think there's one near the entrance as well that we can't see. He's going to start channeling to it, and there's going to be like little lightning balls that are coming from it to Thorum in the middle of the room. After a few seconds, it's going to do like a massive shock of lightning damage in that side. If you get hit by it, it sucks. At the very start of hard mode, it's not going to hurt that bad, but the longer the fight goes on, the more nature damage Thorum does. It'll eventually get to the point where it one-shots you. You have to move out of it. That goes for range, that goes for melee, that goes for everybody. You have to get out of the lightning charge. So like I said, you'll see it on the ground. It's like these lightning bolts that are going into Thorum. You just have to move away from that quadrant of the room. This side over here, towards the gate that leads to the tunnel, gets the least number. So that's why we have 4 melee there to make it a little bit easier. You'll notice Oofster, Tricks Buddy, both of you guys are in these other ones that get more of them. The reason for that is you guys can feint. Feint reduces your damage taken by like 50% or something like that. It's absolutely madness. If you do that, you almost don't have to move, especially at the start. So at the start of the second phase of hard mode, if you feint, you're pretty much okay. You'll be able to eat it. Same thing with DKs. If you anti-magic shell, you'll be able to eat it. It's not going to do too much. But as the fight goes on, and as you know, we've been in it for a minute, you have to get out of it. It does too much damage. And for ranged healers, you always have to get out of it. You can never eat it. When we go into the hallway, all this group, we're going to be killing ads. Make sure the ads get picked up. So Savage, Synergy, I know you're not here, but I'll talk to him about it too. You guys can MD the ads. There's 2 groups of ads when you first enter the room. They're kind of separated a little bit. You can pull both of them at the same time. Just make sure they get on the tank and make sure the tank has them before everybody starts AoEing. They do a frontal cleave, so don't go in front of them. They'll kill you. They can also stun the tank, so it's important to just be aware of that. The thing that'll mostly kill you is when you go in there and you're looking forward, you'll see this big giant golem in the back of the room. He'll raise one of his hands and start charging it, and there'll be like fire coming out of it. And then he'll do a blast. If you get hit by that blast, it'll basically one-shot you. Eventually, you can potentially survive it with enough gear. In our current gear, it's a guaranteed one-shot. You're dead. There's nothing you can do about it. So just be looking forward at that golem, see what he does. If he raises his right hand, or raises his hand that's on the right, just move to the left. That means it's going to come down the right. It's just like Utgard Pinnacle with the dragon boss. I can't remember his name. Scatty the Ruthless. He's flying around on his little dragon. You have to shoot him down. And he'll fly down either the left or the right-hand side. It's exactly the same thing. It's just instead of a guy on a drake, it's just a dude with a big arm. So just make sure you're watching for it. Avoid it. It's really easy. When you go up to the top and you finish the gauntlet, so after you finish him, there's going to be 1 more pack of ads at the top of some stairs, and then 1 giant rune gauntlet, Runed Guardian. The Runed Guardian will put a debuff on a random person that immobilizes them, and then they'll explode like 5 or 6 seconds later. Just move away from them. It's literally his only mechanic. He's very simple. Just tank him and kill him. Don't stand near the person who's going to explode. Then the door will open. You'll see Thorum ahead of you, and there'll be giant circles on the floor, 2 of them. Do not step on those circles. They're giant stasis traps. They'll stun you. I don't think it's permanent, but it's like 2 minutes. You're basically out of the fight. So go around the outside. Do not go through those big circles. Go around. You'll hit Thorum. As soon as anybody touches Thorum, he'll jump down. That starts phase 2, and now we're in the hard mode. That's what we're going to be doing pretty much from the start. We're going to be doing that immediately in week 1. If we manage it properly, if you guys get through the gauntlet with nobody dying, you don't have to rush it super quick. You have almost 2 minutes to get through it to activate hard mode. It's very easy. It's very lenient. Be safe. When we're in our groups, stay spread out. Avoid, getting the chain beam bounced everywhere, killing people, and dodge that lightning on the ground. We'll pretty much get it. It is a little bit harder with Sif fighting because you get the blizzards going around the room that you have to move out of periodically. She could also freeze people. That has to be dispelled. It's not too bad if we avoid the avoidable damage, though. That's the biggest thing of this fight, is avoiding the avoidable damage. Otherwise, your healers just can't keep up. Mimiron, we're definitely not going to be doing hard mode week 1, so we're not going to have to deal with too much of the fire. We are going to set up kiting people for this. So in the first phase, it'll likely be one of the hunters, either Savage or Synergy. And then in phase 2, it'll most likely be Uparm. The fire will always follow whoever's closest to it. So by baiting it to follow one person, you can do exactly like it's showing up here, where you keep it all in one little corner. So it's not too bad. It's a multi-phase fight. It's pretty complicated. Again, I highly recommend you guys watch the videos on these if you haven't. I know I'm being a little bit long-winded here trying to go through everything. We're already almost at 10 o'clock, and I don't want to make people stay too late here. I'm not going to go over the mechanics just because we're running out of time here, but we'll have this out. You guys can see it. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you guys have watched a video on it so you know what you're doing. Just going to quickly go over the assignments for this. So for Mimiron for phase 1, again, we have the MDs. This is pretty much always what we're going to do. Ideally, if we have the 2 hunters, it's Schizo, it's Savage. If we don't, it'll probably be one of the hunters and one of the rogues. And again, we want to give that buff back to the DPS as soon as we can. Plasma Blast, this is the big one for tanks. It does, I think it's, 15,000 spellfire damage per second for 6 seconds. So it's basically, it'll instantly kill you if you don't have some kind of defensive to live through it. So between things like your Shield Wall Parm, we'll have Intervenes from Super Trippy, we'll have Pain Sups, we'll have Aura Masteries with Fire Res Aura and stuff like that. We'll be able to survive all those, and we shouldn't have a problem. Periodically, he'll throw out mines. I don't know if he'll soak them. We'll see how we feel about them as we get in there. They are avoidable. He just throws them out. It's like 4 or 5 of them. Maybe might be a couple more. They don't do anything. They're just mines, but if you walk over them, they explode. So you just want to make sure that when the boss is casting his ability, Shock Blast, deals pretty much lethal damage. It's like 100 and something thousand damage. It'll one-shot you no matter who you are. You have to just get away from the boss. You don't want to run through those mines. So if we're having issues with the mines, we'll get these going. We'll have somebody run around and pop the mines using a defensive cooldown, whether that's Cloak of Shadows or whether that's Bubble. And that'll just pop those mines so we don't have to deal with them. There's also bomb bots as they come out later. That's in the later phase. I believe that's in the phase where he is in his aerial command unit. So we can basically bait them to explode on us, though. If we pop an AMS and then grip them into us, we can just kill them and detonate them, and it's not really a big deal. We don't really have to worry about it. Magnetic Core Dunkers. So when we kill the, I can't remember which are the bots off the top of my head. There's a type of bot that will drop a, it doesn't even say the name of the bot here. I'll have to double check it. There's a type of bot that's lootable when you kill it, and it'll drop a magnetic core.
Said the assault bot.
It is the assault bot? Sweet, perfect. So you loot the assault bots, we pick up the magnetic cores. We always want to have 2 before we use them. When you use one, the head will get pulled down. It takes 50% additional damage, right? And we want to make sure we AoE that down as quickly, or not AoE, but single target that down as quickly as we can, and use 2 back-to-back. That just ensures that we have them down for a full 40 seconds instead of just 20 seconds. Gives us a much better burn. We're never going to kill it in 1 anyway, so we might as well stack the 2 before we pull them down, just to, give us a really good time to burn them down. In is this phase 2? So for phase 2, we're going to be split up into 3 groups. So the picture doesn't really show it properly. I'll probably update it. So this guy in the middle, the big thing that we're kind of worried about, and what you're trying to avoid is hand pulls. So he periodically targets somebody and just does a channel on you. It does a conal attack that does a bunch of damage. It'll always target you. Don't spin them. Don't do anything crazy. You just kind of stand there and eat it and keep DPSing. Has to be healed through. That's why we're spread out, is to limit that raid damage to nothing that's too crazy. This laser barrage, he's going to periodically start winding up. It's literally what his channel is called. It's called winding up. And then he'll start doing this laser barrage. If you get hit by it, it literally one-shots you. And it'll go over basically a third of the room. So if he starts casting it, you just have to move out of the way. It'll always go clockwise, always. So anytime he starts winding up, you'll know that he's going to do laser barrage. It's going to start moving clockwise. Get out of the way. It will one-shot you. Again, we do have people set for firekiters. It's more of something for firefighter. We're probably not going to see it much at all, phase 1. For heat wave, for the final phase, we do have a cooldown rotation set up again. And to your point, Valorant, will probably add you to this just to make sure we have extra healing there. We're already 10 o'clock, or I guess midnight. I don't want to keep anybody any longer. I just want to quickly discuss the kicks for Vezax. So you can see we do have just a brief kick rotation. Anybody can kick these. They have to be kicked. Just make sure you kick it. It's pretty simple. Watch a video on Vezax. Make sure you know how to handle it. You don't get mana regen during it. You have to use the Serenite Vapors. It's an interesting mechanic. Again, watch the video. It's very important. Make sure you know what you're doing when we go in there. For Surge of Darkness, it comes every minute. Luckily for that, we could literally use a intervene for every one. It only has like a 30-second cooldown, so we can use that for every one. We probably won't need one with your shield wall. It's already so much damage mitigation, but for using it during Divine Guardian will be good. You can use it during Pain Sup. You can use it during Divine Guardian, just to add extra mitigation. Parm, you'll be maintaining that one as well. And for Yogg, I'm only going to go over the tentacle assignments. That's all we have for assignments. Again, make sure you've seen a video. Make sure you know the mechanics. There's a lot of interesting mechanics with Yogg. It's a very intense personal accountability fight to make sure you're doing things right, not going insane, handling the different tentacles properly. But for going in, and myself, in case I DPS it, this is a fight that if everybody's doing it properly and we're avoiding the AoE damage, it is technically 3 healable, even from week 1. So it's not really that crazy. So likely I'll be DPSing that one. He'll spawn the portals around him to go inside, 1 through 10. Everybody's assigned a portal. Make sure you click your portal, not a different one. When you go inside, make sure you kill your tentacles and help anybody else out with theirs. Once yours is dead. So you'll see there's a couple different vision rooms. You go into it, you kill it, then you move on, you kill the tentacles, you go on, you kill the big brain in the back, and then that's pretty much it. If you guys have any, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer since we're already kind of over what is our normal raid time. But again, be ready for Thursday. Make sure you have consumes. I'll get more consumes in the bank. I see it was kind of, a lot of them were used there, which is good. Keep using those as you guys need them, but I'll get them stocked up. I have a lot of mats to craft some stuff for us, so I'll get stuff in there. If there's anything not in there that you need, let me know. We can get it added. If you guys have any questions about the assignments that'll be coming up, and again, this will be out either tonight or tomorrow, let me know. We can go over things. If you want anything changed, let me know. Or if you have any questions, let me know. We can go over it. And just kind of more than anything, wanted to give you guys just a good overview of what the assignment sheet's going to look like. It's a lot more colorful. The nice thing is it's got this assignments tab, so you can just see every single boss with actual specific assignments to know what you're doing. They'll also be reflected on these individual sheets with the general strat notes and stuff like that. But the big ones to look for is going to be the assignment sheet. Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Let me know if you have any questions.
Looks very colorful.
Good colorful or bad colorful?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
I like
It's good. Like it's good. Like it's not bad. It's just
too colorful.
No, it's very colorful. I just like it. You know, it's just gonna make everybody feel happier during raid.
It's crayon vomit, but it's useful crayon vomit.
Sorry, I just got back. Can you repeat that?
Kick W.
I do have a question for you there, Gildar. For Freya, since you said you wanted to Shadow Fury, do you want me to possibly swap to my lock just for that fight? This way you can still keep 2 Affliction and 1 Demonology, and I can just go in as Destruction and use the stun if you need it?
If we need it, it's definitely an option. That is a good option, I guess, in case we need it. But I think we'll see how we get when we get, or how we do when we get there. With 3 knockbacks and 4 slows, I think we'll be okay. And then we'll also have, 2 Boomkin Starfall, 3 Warlocks spamming Seed. Like, we'll have a lot of ranged AoE to be able to take them out before they get back to us. So in theory, I think we'll be okay. But if it does come down to it, then yeah, that is an option.
All right, figure just throw that option out there.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
I was just wondering about the loot list. How many more people?
Quite a few.
And
I have like half in. So
Yeah, I'm gonna submit it tomorrow morning. I just was waiting
That's fine.
for today until just because I wanted to see if I got any final pieces of gear.
Yeah, please don't leave it till like absolute last minute. Definitely try to have them into me tomorrow. But yeah, don't wait till like Thursday before raid, because then that's gonna be really annoying for me to try to figure out how to update the sheet really quickly, because it's really slow to update, especially with adding new people, adding new details. It's very slow to update.
Well, GG, guys. See you Thursday.
See you Thursday.
I'm gonna need some more hype out of him. He's getting the first Valkyrie.
Right? Man, I was hoping we could have got Immortal tonight, but everybody, like, we lost it right on 4 Horsemen. When does that happen? Oh well. We still have lots of time. It's not going anywhere, so.
So,
hello?
So much better. My fingers were getting tired typing.
Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm getting my ass kicked.